Greetings, my fellow freedom loving Sullivan thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to the LL3 podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the wild and wonderful Mountain State. And today's date is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. So let us begin. Hey, folks, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's been a while when I did the show. Probably a few days ago, I would say at the least. Maybe a bit longer. Yeah, I'm just, my house is almost done. Roof set, walls are good. It's got to do a little tile, and it'll be all well and good. So hopefully just get this done by the week. Sitting in my colleague's house, and first I'd like to send my condolences to one of my Facebook pen pals and great talented musician, Ira Sullivan. His father was a great jazz musician. Ira Sullivan passed away. And to all the fans out there, even in South Florida, send him some love. And I know too, it's cute because I know people have seen him and his father play, Brev and Ira play together at this little facility in West Dade area, little fish house, seafood restaurant, and they just jam away. And just let you folks don't know there. Please send him some love. I think it's very essential. May his soul be forever free. And you know what? He inspired his son because he's a great musician. Just look up Ira Sullivan on Facebook. Tell him, look, that third sent you. Very talented family. All right, so, a lot of crazy stuff. And, of course, the same old song and dance rhetoric. People talking about the Civil War. And they're going to shut down, take over, overthrow Donald Trump, blame everything on one man. You know what I can say about that? Witch hunting for wussies, or other words, cowards. Because the same people that hate this man will support the idiots that endorses raising the debt ceiling over and over and over again. Say exceptionalism's good. When are you going to get your heads out of your rear ends and re-examine your civic duties? This little pathetic faction game, nothing more for posers. I'm sorry to say this, posers and herd conformists. Wear your cowbells and say, I'm going to represent walking anti-matter so I can be cool. That's one of the areas that really disturbs me the most. It doesn't matter what side of the paradigm you're on. You got snowflakes from all walks of life. And nannies and Karens, the Puritan ideology is all recycled pus. It's happening everywhere, not just within West Virginia, Florida, New York, California, then the United States, Canada, around the world. Same despotism, different package. Always got to think about these things. It's funny because even I'll hit my Facebook page on certain these sites, I get the same garbage, know-it-alls. Believe blue states are better than red and vice versa. George Washington warned us about this on September 19th, 1796 in his farewell address about factions. I post this stuff on Facebook and Twitter most of the time, so please, folks, check it out. There's no fun in games when you violate other space. If you're gonna dish it out, you better learn to receive. Many of them don't like it. It tastes their own mess, and they cry like banshees in heat. They blame everyone but themselves. You know what's fantastic about tyrannical elements like them? They're great experts on stepping in their own bear trap. Standing on it. And many of my listeners around the world understand where I'm coming from. They put up with me for all these years. like since 2014. Man, time flies. Wow. So it gets real, I just finally, I always boggles the mind. Talking about the presidential elections, all this mail-in ballot crap. Look, just ask for an absentee ballot. Screw the outsiders. Okay? Don't even waste your breath. Focus on your state, county. To get these absentee ballots, don't go from outside sources. You'll be entrapping yourselves. It's just one of those things people got to realize. Start from the ground up, not bottom down. We got a lot of ammunition to stop the propaganda tyrannical machine. But some people put their heads oh, well, what could I do? And that's absurd. To me, you're saying, hi, I'm dumb, stagnant, and happy. When they say bend over, I'll go, how far, please? Well, you know what? Don't you ever bring that nature around me. I'm like the orchid, man. I'll spray your rear ends out of my space. I'm not saying this out of arrogance, but on principle and in good faith. That's one of the areas you really got to look at yourselves or look at others. Review yourselves now and then. I see the Biden-Harris thing is like Huey and Dewey. I just laugh. They was even claiming to Kamala Harris, talking about the Harris camp, the Harris administration. Give me a break. There's a lot of dirty things about her. You're still going to support that team because you hate the president, you hate Donald Trump? I'm not going to tell people how to vote. But I'll tell you this. When you got a politician you got a career politician who's been there for nearly 40 years, can't even think for himself right now. He's like a zombie up there. It's really disturbing. Don't be surprised if this could be the Democrats' last stand. They may go under after this. Which is a shame because you got good people in there that want to work with Republicans on budgets and so forth. There's differences. But you got the ones that always talk about the cream of the crop. You hear on the mainstream garbage media. They're the enemies. They're the tyrants. They're the globalist crap bags. That's a fact. You got your GOP, same thing. This little faction game. Awful, stupid, lousy. Just to inform everyone, James Madison made his statement. Factions and commotions have, more frequently than any other cause, produced despotism. So, have the spirit of liberty in your hearts and souls and in your mind, rather than listen to bobbleheads. They're nothing more than individuals that can't even tie their own shoelaces. I say it symbolically. I know I digressed on my rant. Forgive me, folks. But I had to get this off my chest. Because one of the areas we need to look at, which I like to thank Larry Friday from Florida Carry, posts this on Facebook. And this is mainly in reference to Ron DeSantis' thing about violent protests and all that, which I cannot say. You never use that word violent protesters. Both sides are saying it. It's pathetic. Call them criminals. Violent protesters are called criminals. Nothing more, nothing less. I've seen videos of people, protesting on George Floyd way back when, and citizen journalists was recording the ones that are starting trouble, trying to smash police car vehicles or harassing people. The others are saying, "What do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of Dodge." And yes, I can be critical of Black Lives Matter, but doesn't mean everyone in there are bad. I'm not fond of the leadership, so-called leadership, because I know they're trained Marxists, New World Order funded. But there's individuals in there that they want to focus on principles, common interest. I seen a video like that a while back, like last week. A bunch of them went to a Trump rally, and this man who represents Black Lives Matter in that area was a black man, a Christian, and the organization gave him a speech, let him speak for a few minutes. And he got a good applause because of common interest. He despised tyranny. He don't want to see police brutality. He sees innocent people getting harassed. And that's good. And the people, we respect that. None of these people are wicked. So this is in reference talk about DeSantis, and I know they talk about in the Herald on this ordeal. I didn't have the article on me, unfortunately. But I think Larry Friday, once again, from Florida Carry. He will. I will leave the Facebook page on here. You can read it for yourselves. There's a Florida Association to Criminal Defense Lawyers for Immediate Release, September 22nd, 2020. Mitch Stone, president of the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, responded to a recent proposal on regulating protests under the guise of preventing rioting, looting, and disorder. The proposal by Governor Ron DeSantis is an attack on the Constitution and is aimed at silencing dissent. It is un-American because the proposed law will effectively criminalize certain lawful protests, said Stone. The Constitution of the United States and Florida provides citizens the right to peaceably assemble and protest when government is not responding to the will of the people. It's plain and simple. The First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and Article 1, Section 5 of the Florida Constitution. All right? No one advocates for violence and destruction of property. Rioting, looting, and violence are not constitutionally protected forms of protest. We understand the need for effective but reasonable law enforcement. However, this proposal goes too far and is not necessary. Nonviolent protest will be impacted. If this proposal becomes law, parading on streets, assembling at all hours, sit-ins, and other non-destructive activities can be interpreted as violating the laws contemplated by this proposal, Stone said. Stone went on to say, there are laws currently in the books that prohibit violence, destruction of private property, and attacks on law enforcement officers. To suggest the laws are needed to enhance penalties because something occurs during the protest is a vile attack on our constitutional rights. I'll say natural rights under Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution called Basic Rights. These newly proposed laws harken back to the 1770s when the law were enacted specifically to stamp out protests against the King of England, which led to the American Revolution. If this proposal is enacted into law, it will deny basic fairness and due process to protesters by, in some instances, eliminating their right to bail. The proposal will also usurp power from local government in deciding how to budget for police. It will discourage government employees from engaging in any form of protest for fear that they could lose their employment benefits. In some cases, this proposal will effectively ban protests by scaring off those who fear of being accused of crimes with increased in criminal penalties, even if they have no intent to engage in violence or the destruction of property. We've seen the innocent people arrested for engaging in nonviolent protests over the past few months. The Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers will stand for the rights of the accused and for the rights of all people to have their voices heard and against any law as enacted as a result of this un-American proposal. For more information, contact Becky Barlow, Executive Order and the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers at 850-365-5080 or at Becky at FACDL.org. And I got to give Mr. Stone kudos to this because it's the principle. Article 1, Section 5 does guarantee the right to peaceably assemble. And DeSantis made his claim, according to the Herald, which I just read briefly, you could penalize people for defunding police and so forth. Well, when people ask me about these things, about defunding the police, I was going to constitute it. That's the legitimate question. There's a lot of areas that are considered tyrannical we can clean up. Have our peace officers become peace officers once again, rather than deputies of Nottingham, or other words, revenue collecting agents. That is a fact. I know there's a law in Florida. I don't know a statute. I'm just saying it's the top of my head. That if any city or town or county uses money for their budget on collecting, doing through the citations, can be penalized. And believe it or not, Governor Rick Scott, now Senator Rick Scott, which I don't like, signed it. You know what I say? That's a good thing. And I know, see, it's funny because I do study Ron DeSantis' past as a congressman for District 2. And I'm not really too pleased with some of the stuff he voted on. Doesn't mean everything he voted on was bad, but a good amount of it I was not impressed. You can hear that show. I think it was late August of 2018. DeSantis and Andrew Gillum. Don't believe the hype. I'm just paraphrasing right now. That's one of the gubernatorial candidates for governor. I never believed the hype. He's a Trump supporter. Yeah, let's go support him. No. Don't work like that. Is DeSantis always does make bad decisions? Always? No, absolutely not. There's things I praise him. There's things I'll criticize. And I'm not afraid to say it. But he's a Trump supporter. Should all kiss the floor he walks on. That's a cult. That's faction. That's the road to despotism. And I agree. Due process, Article 1, Section 9 of the Florida Constitution. There's even like 4 or 5 resolutions in Florida that they honor these things. So we can use that against them. And you can't and I know Article 7, I think Article 8, if I could be mistaken, the local government can they have certain rights. What they can do, what they can't do. I'll be fair. So, if Governor DeSantis thinks Florida should revolve around him, no, sorry, sir. Doesn't work like that. Uphold your oath of office under Article 2, Section 5. If you're going to make these certain proposals, I will call all you out, including you, Democrats and Republicans. Plain and simple. I support all forms of protest peaceably, not in the bellicose matter. Now, thanks to technology, we're seeing all sides. That's why I support citizen drills and the mainstream garbage out there, regardless of paradigm. Even the ones I don't like, I don't support. And some people, we shouldn't have this certain group protest, like the Nazis. I say, you know what? If you hate Nazis, which is fine, your own personal view, but if you don't let them protest, you emulate the ones you despise. Period. Prove me wrong if you dare. Thomas Paine made this very clear. He who would make his own liberty secure must guard even his enemy from oppression. For if he violates this duty, he establishes a precedent that will reach to himself. Heed it. He was absolutely 100% correct. So, Mr. Stone, I thank you. Of course, even some of the comments on Facebook and on Florida Carry, Flim Flams, some of them had that factionarian rhetoric. You folks out there, examine the bigger picture. Because if you don't support their rights on a peaceable manner, or don't protect their liberties, your enemies or adversaries, it can be a burden on you. And don't scream like a little banshee about it. You know what? That will be it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or you send something that's interesting I want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to Decorum. Furthermore, I will leave the Facebook page, and you can read the letter yourself on my Spreaker page. And if you want to do a donation, please hit me at paypal.me/LokiLuck3, which is all together. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.